Lisa Mallner from Nordic.AI, who was with us leading discussions this morning about how what could be done about data sharing to improve the conditions. And so take it away, Lisa.
I'm actually going to backtrack a little bit from your nice intro just to talk briefly about Nordic.AI and what it is, since we're a partner on this event. We're a nonprofit. We were co-founded respectively by the organizers that were already doing AI meetups in Copenhagen, Oslo, and Stockholm respectively. So kind of a very grassroots type of organization. Around 2 years ago, some people met at Slush, which is a big event here in the Nordics for startups, and decided to try to make it pan-Nordic instead of keeping it internally within the countries to increase the collaboration and to increase branding of the Nordics as a region for strong AI. So a lot of people have been talking about local AI here in Reykjavik, and you've touched on some things that are important to Nordic.AI, which is that we have a huge opportunity here in terms of AI compared to other countries. So we have very rich registry data, we have high-trust societies, we have organizations and people that tend to be early adopters. We have a very educated population. And you also mentioned, for example, a certain orange head of state that maybe is pushing some researchers to be interested in moving overseas. And besides that, we actually have more AI companies than you'd think. With Nordic.AI, we've tracked over 250 AI companies. I think we're at around 278. Of course, if you try to narrow it down to like core AI, that number is closer to 50. But a lot of companies are using AI as part of full stack solutions. So for example, a fintech company using AI to detect front running or something like that. And when you track these companies, they actually make up about 4 or 5% of total AI companies in Europe, which is pretty good considering how small the region is. So Nordic.AI has a goal to try to promote this ecosystem and to make it more successful. And to maintain the standard to ethics and transparency that we have here in the Nordics already. So we've been doing some events. One of the events that we've been doing are these roundtables. And we had one this morning that was supposed to be discussing how to make better data sharing agreements between industry, research, and these types of collaborations. Maybe if I'm missing anything, by the way, people who were there, please yell out so I can say it. And as we started this discussion, we quickly realized even for people that work within AI full-time, the degree of transparency around the best practices for data sharing is actually pretty opaque. So for example, there's GDPR, the data standards for the EU. Many people who work in this field are not familiar with what they need to do to comply with them. There's, for example, the data protection impact assessment, which you can do if you are data sharing. Again, many people are not sure what they should do for compliancy with this. There's security auditing. How often do you do it? How do you do it? For small companies, this is really confusing. So we started with this big question of making better data collaboration agreements, but we actually ended up with what do we need in place first? Best practices to even do data sharing. And maybe creating a platform for that just so that companies can better understand what they need in place and what questions should be answered. Am I missing anything major from our roundtable? No? So that was it. I'm just giving a brief summary. Our database of companies is available at Nordic.AI and also Nordic Tech List. If you would like to reach out to me to do projects that are related to community building and AI in the Nordics, please find me here or shoot me an email at hello@nordic.ai, and we'd love to get something started. Yeah, that's it. Any questions?
This is Iceland. There's also latency.
I know.
In the US, it's, you have to stop the floodgates. But
I've been really impressed because people have been staying away from the really thorny ethical questions, which are hard to answer in a soundbite. So, thanks.
The hardest.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lisa, again. Thank you.